Hello, I'm Sean Quinn, and I'm a cosplayer. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been working on my Snow White in Rags cosplay. And I had a deadline for a photo shoot in Solvang, California, which is a little Dutch town that me and my boyfriend were going to for Valentine's Day weekend. So when I went to my Instagram followers and I asked them a bunch of questions about what kind of stuff do they want to see, they said behind the scenes stuff. They said building cosplay videos, that kind of thing. And so this is my first one. I have taken video of all the steps of this process and a little bit of video at the end of like the final result. So if you want to see how I got from nothing to this, keep on watching. Okay, so for the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna get our materials. We went to Joann Fabrics because that's really the closest and the most easy to get to, honestly. You know how it is. I grabbed some fabric from the clearance section because I wanted to keep the cost down for this look, especially because we were going on vacation.
Ooh. Look at him go. Oh. The flappy shoes. Oh yeah. Max, is that a torso?
Look at that.
I can't see it. There he is.
What about you?
Hello, good morning. Today is gonna be a big build day, I hope. And as you can see, I've got my EVA foam in the back. I've got all my stuff. Yeah, I just gotta get home and get started. Hello, I think you just watched me buy stuff from Joann's for this cosplay I'm doing, and I'm just gonna show you it while I have all my stuff set up. When we went, we were looking for material for the vest and for the skirt. I'm gonna make the shirt out of muslin, which I already have. I also got some trim. Let me just show you. Okay, so this is it's like a gray twill, a cotton poly chenille. So I tried to get 3.5. The pattern that I had said that I need 3.5. I don't know if that's true, but grabbed it anyway. Next up is this bag because it's cute and I always need bags. Okay, so the material I got for the vest, I bought the material that was like on sale. So these are the options that I had in the sale section. This is like it feels sort of polyester-y, honestly. But I think it's got nice texture to it, and I think it's like a nice brown for what I'm doing. So I grabbed some fusible interfacing. This is 1 yard of it, that's plenty. I grabbed this trim that's like a brown and gold. And it said I needed, I think 3.25. I forget, it seems like way too much. But I got what the pattern said. I might not use it in the same way that they want me to use it. It just seems like, I don't know why I have so much. But I want to put it on the vest, basically. And then I got the feather light boning. This is 2 yards of it, but I think I only need 1. Last thing I grabbed was some crocheted lace. Again, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But I think I should have some lace because I'm a princess. Oh, last thing I got, which I left downstairs, is a big old sheet of 10mm foam. And that's because I don't have clogs and I don't have the monetary resources to buy clogs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make fake clogs out of foam and hope that I can wear them for the hour that I'm taking pictures and they won't completely fall apart. other people do it. Other people make like boot covers and stuff with foam and they stay together, and I don't, I think with enough coats of Plasti Dip I should be able to do that. It's going to be a learning experience, but that's why you're here, right? You wanted this. You wanted to learn what I do. You wanted behind the scenes information. Well, you're behind the scenes. Throwing back the curtain. Hello. It's after work on a Wednesday. After work on a Wednesday. I don't have any classes to teach today. I think today I'm going to focus on this. And I don't know, I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on myself because it was a long day. So I'm just going to open the pattern and look at the options. I might feel compelled to cut them out, and I might not. Either way, I do have to open the package first, so I'm going to do that. I bought the size that they said I should buy, but the measurements still look like they're going to be too small, so do we do a math up? Do we just go with it? Okay. This is a Simplicity 5582. It's like part of their costume. Sorry, you're on the table, so you're like, yeah. Okay. Okay. Simplicity is named Simplicity for a reason, but that doesn't mean easy. I think these are gonna be okay. What am I looking at here? Are we flatlining okay, wait. Vest pin corresponding interfacing to wrong side of vest front and back. Do you interface the whole vest? You basically make two bodices and then you sew them together, and that's the lining. Yeah, it seems really straightforward, which is great because that's what I need right now. You just some straightforward patterning, straightforward shit. It's a lot of like when people look at like projects and crafting and stuff, like they don't have enough time. And like I get it. I wish I had more time. I wish I could just do this all day, every day. Because this is what brings me joy. I'm just going to do a little bit at a time because I've got all weekend and all next week to make this happen. That's the plan, man. That's the plan, man. That's the plan, Sam. Cutting out patterns, especially these paper patterns from like Simplicity or McCall's, is kind of my least favorite part of the process. I find it so tedious. And the paper is so thin, I just feel like I'm gonna rip it and so I much rather use like thick paper patterns than these. Okay, so everything's cut out. The layers are the fabric for the outside, the interfacing, and the lining. I'm just doing the lining in muslin because that's what I have on hand. It's cheap and it works. The interfacing, I only had a little bit of this interfacing, so I did a feather light here and then tried to do some pieces right in the front of some thick interfacing, and I was able to do the whole back in that thick interfacing, so it's a little more interfaced in the front, which is what I wanted. And then the next thing to do is to sew the darts up, sew the rest of this up, sew the rest of this up, and then sandwich them together and flip them inside out. So I'm going to do the first couple of steps and see what it does. Luckily, these seams in this pattern are pretty much straight seams for almost everything. So it's going together pretty quickly and a lot quicker than I thought it would. I'm going to sew the side seams and the shoulder seams now. But I got a little overzealous and I almost sewed the front to itself, which would have made a very small vest indeed. We're going to try again. Luckily, I didn't go through all the motions of sewing it before realizing that dumb thing I did, but I did pin it. It's fine. It's fine. Don't forget to press your seams. Most of the seams in this are going to be covered with the lining, which is great. Do I want to make a stomacher? That might be cute. I just wonder if I want to add, like, if I do a stomacher, I can do like a fake chemise sort of lace on the inside of this collar here, and then just attach sleeves to the vest itself. That'll keep me from making a blouse, but I don't know. Do I want that look, or do I want to see the blouse underneath? Do I want to use this vest for other things? I don't know if any of you are sewers out there and you're noticing that I have this terrible habit of not clipping my seams or my extra threads. What I do is I ended up just like snapping the seams. I don't know where I picked up this habit. No one taught me how to do that. It's a terrible habit. Don't do it. I'll try to be better. Hello. So I made the vest, and I think it looks pretty good. I'm definitely leaning towards making a stomacher, because once this is all like cinched up, if I don't have a stomacher, my boobs are gonna be like Ren Fair wench style boobs, and I'm not really feeling that for my my Snow White cosplay. I'm gonna make some bias binding out of the material I have here and cover these. Everything else is finished except for the grommets. The grommets will go over here. And then I'm gonna just wing a stomacher. So now you can see me putting the grommets into this. Now, I followed the grommet placement portion of the pattern, which was very helpful, but these grommets are a lot bigger than the ones that the pattern suggests to use. So the grommets are actually placed way too close to the center front, and I couldn't put my bone there like you're supposed to. So I end up hand stitching the bone later. This is another day. Welcome to a time jump. Whoa. So here I'm cutting out the rest of the pieces from this pattern that I need. I tried to keep everything really organized by only cutting out the pieces that I needed for this project, and then refolding up the rest of the pieces of this paper pattern and putting it in its own little Ziploc. I find it's easy to misplace pieces or ruin pieces from these really thin patterns, so I keep them in their own little Ziplocs for safekeeping. Okay, so I made this skirt off camera because I was watching a documentary with Max, and it's a handkerchief hem. I didn't hem it because it has to be ragged. And the waistband is a drawstring, so I have to figure out like what the best placement for the skirt is. You know, if it's like, I don't know. I was worried it was going to be too short at the short parts, but I kind of like it. Yeah, now I just need to find some appliques, rip some holes, make it fray a little bit more. Hello, we're back from outer space. So today, which I can't even remember what day it is. I think it's day 4 of like building things. I'm pretty sure, maybe it's 5, I don't know. Today, we're gonna try to do something kind of crazy. I have to have wooden clogs. I have to have wooden clogs for my Snow White cosplay. I can't not have wooden clogs, okay? But I don't have the money for wooden clogs. I just don't, okay? I don't have the time, nor do I have the money for wooden clogs. So I've come up with the brilliant idea of patterning this crock into a clog and then making it out of 10 millimeter EVA foam. Will that work? It's worked for other people. Other people have made boots and boot covers and armor pieces and plenty of things that would act just like this. It's been done before, but can I do it? We'll see. And this crock has been in my family for generations. And by generations, I mean I was like early high school. I got this crock. This is a Pirates of the Caribbean crock that I got from my dad, and I wear them all the time. Okay, no shame in my crock game. Oh, and we're just gonna get started. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cling wrap it so that I don't touch my precious crock with any of the things that I'm doing today. I'm gonna protect my crock. And then I'm gonna mold a sort of point at the top because it is clog shaped, but it needs that little point at the top. So I'm gonna use tin foil for that. And then I'm going to cover it in masking tape. Once it's covered in masking tape, I'm going to pattern out the pieces so that it can lay it flat on some butcher paper, cut out the butcher paper, have a pattern, cut it out of foam, flip it over, cut it out of foam again, so I have two. And then start to glue my foam together, which, do I know where my contact cement is? No. We'll find out where my contact cement is. We'll figure it out. We found my plastic dip. Other, weirder things that happen. We'll be able to figure it out. Max is here. He's pretending to not be here, but he's definitely here. I don't know what to do with the sport mode, Because when you're like this, you're in lounge mode. You're in loafer mode. You're in here, sporty. I guess I'll put it back here so that there's like a lip in the back. I just don't want anything to happen to my Crocs.
You just gotta be careful.
Okay. Here we go. So this is probably the most exciting part of this project, but also the part that I was the most worried about. I started with foil, made that little point of the size that I wanted, and started taping it down. I used a lot of masking tape for this because I wanted there to be a nice thick pattern. Once it was fully covered, I used a Sharpie to section off pieces that could go flat onto my foam for cutting as a flat pattern. I also made notches and made sure to label everything with the side and piece that it is on. I cut it out with an X-Acto knife, but I did go through with scissors later because I was really light with the X-Acto knife. I was very nervous of cutting my actual shoe. And I did find that some of my pieces weren't laying flat. So I changed the top piece when I was making this paper padding into 2 small pieces. I think it ended up working out. It's a little polygon at the beginning, which you will see. I'm cutting it out of foam using a craft knife. I'm drawing on the foam with a white gel pen, and I'm using contact cement to put everything together. Okay, folks, we've got a clog. Couple of things I'm noticing is it doesn't, it's a thick foam, so it's very finicky. I have a lot of these sort of gabosis in the inside, so I'm gonna get, I don't know, there's some kind of filler that people put on EVA, and I don't know if they're just using like a resin filler, if they're using like a foam clay, I don't know what it is, but I'll have to figure out what that is so that I can put that in there. And then I'm gonna heat it up and mold it so that this is nice and rounded here, and that this isn't, the back doesn't come to a point. And then sanding and priming and painting. But I mean, other than that, it fits, and I think it looks like a clog, right?
Looks like a clog.
Wouldn't you say?
Looks like a clog.
Okay. We have to make another one, but as far as this goes, I feel like this is a win.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We have gone on an errand. We went and got Quick Seal, which is supposed to help with those, like the gabosis on your foam projects. So we're going to do that. I have to cut out my second one, and to do that I'm going to take the same pattern and I'm going to flip it over. So I'm using the mirror image of that pattern. The more and more that I look at it, the more and more that I like it, which is good because most of the time the more I look at it, the more I hate something. So it's going pretty well. Tomorrow my sister is bringing the heat gun, so I'm going to try to do the quick seal and some sanding tonight so that I can use the heat gun tomorrow on it to make sure that it's nice and rounded and that any of the little fuzzies that come up when I sand it get melted away by the heat gun. And then we're gonna plaster dip it and we're gonna paint it. It's going good so far, right?
It looks like a clog.
It looks like a clog. That was my biggest thing. Like, it looks like a clog, right? It's a little, we were saying it's a little PS1 polygon right now. But once I fix it up and then sand it down, luckily this is like a thick foam. So there's plenty of space for me to sand. I don't feel like I'm going to sand a hole into it. It fits too. Like, I was able to wear it downstairs. And, I don't know. I think I'm pretty proud of it. I went from nothing to a shoe. I'm a fucking cobbling elf. Making shoes in the night. So there's broad daylight. Here's all the pieces cut out of that second shoe. And I think it's going pretty well. Let's ask Max. Yeah, he thinks so too. Oh my god.
2 clogs.
2 clogs. 2 motherfucking clogs. And they still need a lot of work, but they are. That's awesome. I'm so glad that this worked. You know?
You're talented.
Thank you. I mean, it's not perfect, but like, come on.
No, but it's not done. That's why it's not perfect.
Wow. Yeah, I'm proud of them. Thank you. Okay, another time jump. It's the next day, and I'm using a Dremel tool to sand out all of my seams. You can see the white areas are those quick seal, that silicone stuff that I put in between so that there are no gaps in my seams. And I'm using a heat gun to heat up the foam to cure any of those little fuzzies that come up when sanding, and also to make it moldable. And I'm molding it around a Raid can so that I can get a nice rounded shoe. Okay, so they've been sanded and heated up and molded so that they're round, and now I'm going to spray them with Plastic, like a nice solid coat, and I'm going to let them dry overnight, and I'm not going to think about them for the rest of the night. Honestly, if these were black clogs, I think they'd look pretty great, but they're not black. They're yellow, so I gotta paint them. Hello. It's Monday, so we are 5 days away from the photo shoot. So I'm gonna make the blouse today and hopefully the stomacher. And yeah, if you can't tell from my eyes, I'm tired. Work was rough today, and then I taught a class, and now I'm gonna make a blouse. So I'm cutting out the blouse here, and I was looking at the pattern, trying to figure out how do I put the bias in there to make a casing for the elastic, and it ended up being so convoluted that I just gave up completely. I sewed all the pieces together, and then I just folded over the top edge and the edges of the sleeves, and I just made a casing from the actual fabric. It turned out great, so I'm not sure how that would have been way different if I had followed their instructions. I like the way it came out. I'm putting in the elastic here. I'm using a safety pin so that the elastic doesn't pull all the way through, and I'm also adding the elastic to the sleeves as well, making sure that they're nice and poofy for that sweet poofy sleeved Snow White look. Okay, folks, we made a stomacher. So I just took the same fabric and then I quilted 2 layers of muslin and 2 layers of interfacing in here, and I just did straight quilting because I'm thinking I want to put like 2 bones. I don't know if I have enough, But maybe 2 bones, maybe I'll space them out. 2 bones right in the center here, because that'll keep a nice stiff shape. I think I made it too wide, but whatever. That's fine. And then I'm just going to cut this, and then I'm just going to turn the rest of this fabric into bias tape so that I can cover this and also cover the sleeves on the vest. And then all the machine sewing is basically done. I think I don't really want to machine sew on the patches. I kind of want to hand sew them on for look, you know. But yeah, wow. Now to paint the clogs. I used about 4 layers of this sort of golden yellow color. I then started to dry brush in some tans and some darker browns into the yellow to get that sort of variation that wood has. Give it a little bit of a wood grain look. You'll see a close-up of that in a second. I didn't paint the inside, but looking back on it, I definitely should have. At least the sides, you can see it a little bit in the photos, and I have to keep changing it in post. Okay, so clogs are gonna dry overnight, and I wanna see what they look like tomorrow. They need a clear coat, and I'm thinking of getting like some rubber, like stick-on soles for the bottom, just so it doesn't rip all the paint off. They look really yellow on camera, but they have a lot of like brown variation because I wanted them to be sort of like a yellowy wood. And I'm not really sure if I need to do the inside. I don't know how much of that is gonna show. But yeah, so that's that. And I'm gonna go to bed and, try again tomorrow. The next day when I went to Max's house, I did all the hand sewing. So that was the trim, the boning, and the casing on the sleeves there, and also the stomacher. And we watched a serial killer documentary while doing that, so great. Okay, so here's the wig. It's, honestly, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work out because I only have these foam ones. Like, there's so much hair on this wig, and I ran out of these guys and I had to use the foam ones, and they just don't dry as quickly. So I'm really hoping that if I hit it with the steamer and then also hit it with the hair dryer, that will be okay. But I might not take these out until we get to Solvang. That's how worried I am. As a curler set, I tried to use similar sized curlers for the front, giving it a nice uniform wave so I can get those cutesy little bangs. I also curled away from the part so that we can get a nice middle part. It's the day before we leave, and I finally put the costume on for the first time, and I think it looks pretty good. Most of the time, every time I put on a costume and I'm not like fully done, I just feel like it doesn't have the look I want, but it's also like not done. I'm a really bad gauge of whether or not it will look cute or not if I don't have like eyebrows and eyelashes on, which is super weird, but true. So I've been wearing it and it's pretty comfy. I think the one thing is though that it's a drawstring skirt, and I'm thinking I want to put elastic in it instead, just because I know that that's not going to keep creeping down. For some reason, this isn't staying tight to my body, and I would like it to stay tight to my body, especially if it's going to be, held under my bodice. Yeah, so I'm going to do the wig now. I have to put patches on my skirt, and I have to make a bow. And then I gotta pack, and we're ready to go. Good morning. It's the day that we leave for Solvang. I'm starting to pack, but I also really wanted to get to the wig just in case it was going to take me a long time. So I started unraveling it, and I forgot to tell you. Sorry. So basically, I had these tiny foam rollers up at the bottom, which are really, really small, really, really tight curls. So I took them out and started to brush them out, and it's giving me this sort of like poodle effect, which is perfect because what I wanted with this is like the structure to be shorter, because this is kind of a longer wig. Not long, but it's longer than what I wanted Snow's hair to be like. So with these tight curls underneath the bigger curls, it gives me sort of like a foundation, and it keeps the bottom hairs from being too long. So yeah, so now I'm just going to take out the rest of them and start styling. Number one, very sorry that the light is so harsh in this video. What I'm doing is I'm taking out the curls and I am brushing them out. The front area is the most styled area. So as I'm taking them out, I am setting each curl in the area that I want it to lay with corsage pins, which you could see here. I'm using the pins to hold the style. I set the whole wig with Got To Be Glued spray, which from Gorilla Glue spray fame. And yeah, I am watching wig videos on YouTube while doing this wig because I know who I am. I love the S-wave that the hair is doing in the back. I think this came out really great. I did not try it on before doing the actual photo shoot, which I would suggest against. We are in Solvang. Max is coming back from the ice machine right now. Hello. It's the day before we're gonna try to take photos, and I have just found out that there is a 3% chance that it will rain and a 68% chance that it will rain for the rest of the day. So if I wake up tomorrow morning at the ass crack of dawn and it's raining, I'm going back to bed and we'll try again the next day. But I would really like to help. I hope to get it done tomorrow, because otherwise it's just gonna make us clocking out of our hotel like kind of a time crunch. So I just want this to work. We went for a walk today and we scoped out some places that we thought would be really great for some photos. It was really empty, but it was also freezing. So, and like a Thursday afternoon, like everything closes kind of like 5 p.m. around here, except for a few restaurants. So I'm hoping that, I don't know. And then bakeries are open really early, so I know there's gonna be people about. We found some really cute places that aren't on the street, that are like in little alcoves and stuff. So I should be able to get a few shots. I just really want a really nice one with like the fountain and like the windmill. Because we're here. We're here in this little Dutch town. Little Dutch town, and I want it to be nice. We're gonna get an early night. We're gonna watch the final episode of The Jinx, which it's starting to heat up. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Hello.
Is that for your OnlyFans?
Yeah. Only shoulder.
Only shoulder.
I only have one fan. He's my only fan. Good morning. It's the day of the shoot that we've been waiting so long for, and there are clouds in the sky. So what we have decided is that I'm gonna get fully ready, and if it's too shitty outside to shoot, I'll just make some TikToks and take some selfies, and then try again tomorrow. If it's not too shitty to shoot, we're gonna just go for it. So for these eye things, you can wear them either way. So like my friend was like, I've been wearing these wrong the entire time because I wear them the opposite way. And I was like, no, no, no. You wear them like that for eye bags. You wear them like this for eye bags. And if you wear the swoopy out, you wear them like that for your like crow's feet. Like that. So that's what I normally do. But my eye bags have been my constant companion these past weeks. So I'm just gonna try to help it. These are brightening from Peter Thomas Roth. I don't know who that is. Is that a good person? I don't know. Here comes this little spoon for scooping. To prep for my wig, I'm putting my hair in pin curls. I'm then putting it under 2 wig caps, 1 mesh, 1 like a stocking cap. And then I'm securing those to my pin curls with bobby pins. So you can see those little black dots are bobby pins holding my wig cap. I'm doing a very natural Snow White look. I have a little bit of a cat eye. Putting on my wig, I put some Got To Be glued on my hairline to hold the lace down, and I'm using straight wig pins to secure the lace, but I didn't have enough, and I really need to make a big order of those pins because those are my pins of choice, are straight wig pins. For wigs, I had to use a lot of bobby pins, and I'm trying to pin back the curls out of my face, but it's not really working. I'm using a soft red lip color here because I didn't want a bright red lip. It's her Rags outfit after all. And then I set my makeup with a setting spray. And here we go. Here's the final look. I'm a princess. Wow. Max took these gratuitous shots of me, and I'm very thankful. This was the first time that I had put on everything together, and as you can see, there are a couple of things that I wish I could have changed, but this skirt is one of my favorites. The one thing I would want to do is change the drawstring to elastic so it doesn't ride down as much as it wants to, but it has a good twirl. Look. Whee! The wig is great. I think it's really pretty, and I love how flouncy it is. I just want it out of my face more, so next time I'll change that. The bow is huge, and I'd probably make a smaller bow. The clogs held up. Like, you can see some creasing, and I definitely would want to paint the insides because you can see the black a little bit, at least on the sides. The bodice needs more bones in the stomacher, and I would also like to attach it to the sides, but otherwise, I think it's really pretty. And we just took a stroll through Solvang. We tried to assimilate into Dutch culture. You can see me here with these guys. I think I'm doing a good job. I could work there. We met some of the locals. They founded the town. Saw some sights like this windmill here. The weather held up and we got some great pictures. Okay, she's on. I'm wearing her. This is the first time I'm putting the wig on. It's not the first time I've worn this wig, but it is the first time I'm putting this wig on with this style. And I do like it. I just think I have like a little face. So I feel like next time I will try to put these a little farther back so that you can see more of my face and less of this. I put a bobby pin here, but it's just not staying. There's not enough. I just have to put it in the style. Otherwise, it's got some really great volume. And this is pretty good. I think, I don't know. There's like, sometimes my shirt wants to peek through, so I just have to keep pushing this up. So maybe I'll add some hooks just to hold my skirt up here. The clogs held up. They held up pretty good to the Solvang streets because we were walking around all day today, and they didn't break. I was convinced that I was gonna have to wear my real shoes and then just put on my clogs for the pictures, but they totally stayed together and worked, and there was even a little bit of puddles that we were avoiding, but yeah. My bow kept its shape, even though it's not like, you know, a perfect bow, but I think it was good. We had a couple people like wave and say hi. Nothing too crazy. I'm sure they get plenty of people dressed like this walking through their town. I did a couple TikToks. I don't know. It's at that point where I'm like, I look so pretty and I don't want to take it off, but also I want to go get breakfast. So I am going to take it off. But this was, so far, this was a success, and I'm excited to edit the photos and yeah, and to have a good vacation, because now I don't have to worry about this because this is over. And that's it. So thank you so much for watching. This has been the first of hopefully many cosplay videos just like this, and let me know how you liked it down below, because it is a new thing that I'm doing, and I want to know what you guys think and what suggestions you have. Did you like how I presented things? Do you want to see more of the crafting process? Do you, I don't know, what do you want? Let me know. If you want to see the final photos of this, go ahead and check them out on my Instagram. The link tree is in the description. I have some TikToks, you know, all that fun stuff. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and ring the bell or whatever you do to find out notifications for my videos, because I have another Snow White video on the way, and next week I will be posting our travel scrapbook for Solvang, so you get to see everything that we did on our trip. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh my. I'm also seen on TV. Have you seen me on TV?
There she is!
What do you think is behind the tiny door?
Are there tiny men behind this tiny door? There's no little men. Yeah, this is a Dutch thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Woo! Don't cut off my bow. Are you cutting off my bow?
Not even close.